first-team offense. How disappointing is it where you guys stand right now?
Yeah, very disappointing and disappointing, very frustrating. Knowing that you're better than that and going out there and not putting a performance close to your standard or even the expectations or what you thought you could do and expected to do against this team, and credit to those guys. That's the beauty of the NFL. Like, games, play, stats, none of that's done on paper. You've got to go out there and you've got to earn it that night with everything taken into account. And they kicked our ass and both sides of the ball. Limited the possessions early, but I mean, we don't score on the first drive, don't score in the red zone. The next drive, I think 3-4 and out. Then we fumble when we're going to get a field goal, and then they were trying to kick a 70-yard field goal to even get points before half. That makes it tough, and then try to make adjustments in the second half. But when you're down like that in the NFL game, we still had a chance, and then we didn't take advantage of the opportunities and the moments that we had in the second half. Very frustrating.
What's happened with the rhythm on offense? You guys were going so well, you were going so well, and it seemed like the last 2 weeks you guys have not been able to get anything going.
If I had that answer, we wouldn't be struggling, to be honest with you, and not to leave it at that, but that's what this bye week's for. We've got to figure it out. We've got to figure out how we need to improve, obviously, in all phases of the game. I mean, special teams did a hell of a job tonight getting us a touchdown. That was the only spark, I think, in the game for the most part, especially in the first half. And that's what this bye week's going to be all about. Me personally, hope everybody on this team individually, and I know for sure as a staff and an organization, it's going to be about how can we improve and fix these last 2 weeks that are nowhere close to anything that we want to be.
Dak Towers with ESPN. How are you feeling physically? You took some shots, it seemed.
I'm fine. Little ankle roll at the end of the first half, but that's fine. Going into a bye week, I'll be more than great. I mean, I finished the game and was fine on it, so it's not even anything to have concerns about. And then with the extra time, I'm fine. Body's great.
You were pressured more tonight than you had pretty much in any other game.
I mean, I know that they had a plan. Watching the film, that they didn't send anything that they haven't done before this season. Obviously, heated us up more than they have other opponents, but that just plays into how they wanted to play us with their junky coverages, making me wait another little half a second, and that was crucial, right? While they got to the spots, and that half a second, me having to get off the spot, the pressure getting home, force some missed throws and some plays that we normally make, whether it be me or the receivers, we weren't able to capitalize on it, so they got us there.
Be available to you. You held it for maybe a little longer than maybe you wanted to.
I held it?
Well, I don't know if you held it or you're waiting for CD.
If I held it any longer, I would have been completely sacked. So I think that was one of those, you're playing against the pass rush and knew I was going to take a hit, sat there, let it go, try to anticipate it. It's one of those plays and routes. It's not to point the finger blaming anybody. You kind of give a guy a little bit of freedom on his depth and how he can, take the defender a little bit further. And unfortunately, that was fourth down. I had to throw it a little early, probably. I mean, I got up asking what happened, honestly, and so I probably left a little bit of error on it, I guess. And at the end of the day, we just didn't make the play.
Do you think the game and the way you guys play maybe is different if you guys do end up punching it in and you get out to that 7-0 lead?
On the first drive? Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say that when you get the first score of the game. You would hope that they would start playing different or calling the game different. That's kind of the whole deal. While some people accept the ball versus, deferring, is you feel like if you score first that the other team plays and calls their plays differently. So if we have 7 points there, maybe they do, and I think that would shape up the game differently. But then again, it's a long game, very long game that didn't necessarily mean we're going to win the game. But we've got to convert on that. We're too good of an offense to have these red zone struggles or just to not come away with touchdowns, to be honest with you. We know we've got a field goal in the bag, but when we're that close inside the 5, we've got to score touchdowns.
What do you personally plan on doing during the bye?
Yeah, I mean, getting healthy, working at the same time, making sure the conditioning is at the peak, and hanging with the family, spending time with my fiance and my girl. So looking forward to it.
What are some questions that are at the top of the agenda that you want to get answered in the bye?
One more time.
What are some questions you want to get answered at the top of the agenda in the bye?
Red zone for one, and I think that's probably number one for me in the offense is we've got to score in the red zone. We've got to score touchdowns, not just field goals. And however that looks, whether it's getting to certain plays or, looking around the league and figuring out what plays are trending and, can we take this or take that, or just finding ways to get our guys the ball more simpler. I don't know. But that's probably the number one. And after that, it's just about however we can win games.
Or in that year, or is it kind of a year-by-year basis?
It's definitely a year-by-year basis. I just think that was a great week of figuring out what your issues were and having answers to solve them, being very solution-oriented, and that's something that Shadi just spoke about in the locker room. So he was a huge part of that. So have no doubt that is something that we can do again.
Just as a team, really just kind of reset before going into the back half of the year.
I mean, I don't know if they come good time, bad time. I'd say it's a bad time right now because we lost. Having to spend a week, like I said, just getting in shape, hanging with the girls, and probably not going to be quite as jolly as I could have been. But I definitely will be, and that's the balance that they give me. But yeah, it's a good time in the sense that we know we've got some things that we need to fix, and some guys that getting healthy would help us. So I think it's coming at a good time.
What does that do, or what would that potentially do to the morale of this locker room if you do go out and add somebody that you think could be of value?
Yeah, I mean, especially if it's a big value guy that's is going to come in and make a difference and have an immediate impact. You can do so much good. Been a part of one of those. Forget how many years ago it was, but it was Amari Cooper, right? Signing him on the bye week or going into the bye week, and we're able to get something going a few weeks later. I know we lost that first week. I think we had him on a Monday night, but we ended up getting it back rolling and put a streak together, and that's what this league's about. It's about creating streaks, win streaks, and getting hot and putting yourself in a better position than you were or you are at this moment. So that's still in front of us. A lot of games left to be played. We can still get a streak going. Obviously that would help, but I think as important as that as anything is us getting some answers to these issues that we have and getting healthy.
How does having a game on this day kind of change how you approach the day?
Yeah, heavy hearts today. This game's hard, but when you deal with a day like today, you realize life's hard. And blessed to be able to do what I do. Thankful for in so many ways that, I mean, I don't even know if I can even explain how thankful I am for the time I had with her, and to have a great of a mother as I did, selfless mother. Everything that you see me do and I am is because of her. Yeah, this loss is nothing compared to life, and that's why I don't have any concerns about what I'll be able to do, this team will be able to do, in the way that we can respond. But it was a tough day. It was a tough day, and it's a day that you damn sure want to win. That there was many, I thought this morning about a lot of the Monday night games that we watched together, and wanted to get a win, and I didn't. But I know that doesn't take how proud she is away. Doesn't take anything away from who I am, and just keep pushing for her.
How discouraging is that to you in terms of legitimately feeling like you have a chance to achieve what you thought you would when the season began?
It's not discouraging about the other team's stats. I mean, hell, to be honest with you, I didn't know they were 2-5 and had the streak. It's the NFL. I don't care to even look at those things because, you do, and you might walk in here thinking, oh, this is going to be a cakewalk and this is going to be easy. And so I couldn't even have honestly told you that. And it's frustrating that we didn't go out there and do what we're capable of and play to who we are and our standard. And, defense did well on first and second down. They just weren't able to get off the field. And for us, we just, had some plays here and there and made some good plays, but wasn't anything ever consistent in the game. And it's frustrating. It's hard to say discouraging. It's not a word that I like to use. It's not something that I ever really feel, to be honest with you. It's frustrating. But as I was just, kind of saying, we'll respond. I know I'll respond. It's not just about me, though. It's about, making sure these other leaders and guys on this team hold everybody else accountable, and we can respond.
But at what point do you accept or just realize the inconsistency and kind of accept that might be how it is with this team each week?
That would be so opposite of who I am. I understand your question and what you're asking, but to say that's why this is frustrating. That's why it's so frustrating, because I'm not just going to accept that, oh, this team is inconsistent, this team is just up and down. Like, we're going to be, as long as we ride the wave of, the media and, going from one game to the next, and not putting the blame on you guys, but, we win a game and we feel really good about ourselves, and you think you're just going to go in the next week and smack that opponent, and you don't. Then, you feel a little upset, and you look in the mirror, and you come back and you give a better performance. That's what's been happening this year, other than tonight. And so when you've put two bad games or two ugly losses back to back, you got to find answers. You got to find answers. And so to your point, that's why the bye week's at a good time, is we've got time now to find answers without having another opponent, but we have to find those solutions.